I know. Most of the credit card content that you see, whether it's here on YouTube or even the most popular financial blogs out there, talk about the same credit cards from the same banks over and over. Now, I get it, there's a reason for it, but that doesn't mean that these are the only credit cards out there that offer good value. In fact, in my research, I've seen some hidden gems that probably offer even more value for the right person, but they're not popular enough or they don't have the marketing dollars to make the headlines themselves. This video is dedicated to the sleeper cards, the hidden gems that offer really good value for the right person. I want to highlight the 9 cards that I feel often get overlooked. For each, because they may be new to you, I'll highlight the strengths, the weaknesses of the card, how I feel the card could actually benefit somebody in the correct wallet setup, and also the main reason that the card may be overlooked. So let's get right into it with the first card, which is the Wells Fargo autograph card. Now, this is one of the ones on this list that I think most people may have heard of, but may not actually know a lot about. The autograph is very straightforward. It offers a $0 annual fee and some really appealing earnings categories that are frequently spent in. The autograph card gives you 3x back on dining, travel, gas stations, transit, popular streaming services, and phone plans. It does this all while carrying the benefit of holding no foreign transaction fees. Now, my biggest takeaway is that it's pretty rare to find dining, transit, and gas stations all on the same card offering an elevated multiplier. Broadly speaking, anything that earns you over 2x, in this case 3x, is considered an elevated multiplier, and you're getting good value when you spend in those categories. Now, the downside of the autograph is that you are earning points that can be redeemed for travel. However, Wells Fargo has a really limited list of transfer partners. So for those of you who are into getting that outsized gain on the back end, this may not be the right card to scratch that itch. However, I've never looked at Wells Fargo as a bank that is the best one anyways for getting tons of value in travel. This card really excels in having some of that 3x earnings rate on those hard to find categories all pushed into one card. That's where this card is special, and I think that appeals more to someone who just wants to know that they're earning a reasonable rate on things that they spend in quite often. Next up is a card that, yes, is from American Express, but it's the only Amex card that I'll talk about in today's series, and in my opinion, it offers some of the best value out of any American Express card out there, and that includes the Gold card and the Platinum card. This is the American Express Blue Cash Preferred, a $0 annual fee card for the first year that then bumps up to a $95 annual fee card every single year after. And this card earns 6% cash back at grocery stores up to $6,000 a year in spending, 6% back on streaming service charges, and 3% cash back on gas. And a benefit that's often overlooked is the card comes with a handy $84 Disney bundle credit. 2 years ago, this card would have been a no-brainer for me. I was spending just for one person before I got married, so I'd spend about $6,000 or $500 a month in groceries, meaning I would have maximized to the absolute highest of potentials. That's 6% back at US supermarkets. Then I also do like sports, so the ESPN Plus would have contributed towards that $84 credit that the card offers, making this almost a $0 annual fee card with really no downside. That type of person who fits within the grocery spend and would take advantage of the credit the card offers is really the perfect fit on this card. Even if you spend a little bit over on groceries, let's use $10,000 in a year for an example, you're still gonna make out really well. In the $10,000 grocery spend, the first $6,000 of that would get 6% cash back. That's $360. Now the last $4,000 of spending for that year only earns 1%, so an extra $40 back, but that's still $400 total cash back on $10,000 in groceries. That's earning 4%, which is a whole lot better potentially than most cards out there are gonna get you. Now let's get a little more niche and talk about the third card on this list, which is the Verizon Visa. This is truly a sleeper card because so many people disregard this credit card for the wrong reasons. It's another $0 annual fee card that comes with a $100 statement credit to Verizon upon opening. However, where this card really gets good is it offers 4% on gas, dining, and grocery purchases, and then everything else is just 1%. Now those earning rates are really good. And the massive catch to this is that rewards are only redeemable on your Verizon bill or for new cell phone purchases. So you may want to skip to the next card if you're just not a Verizon customer. However, statistically, Verizon has over 100 million connections in the United States alone, making it one of the largest cell phone providers. So I'm willing to bet that a lot of you spend a fair amount on your Verizon bill, and that's going to hit every single month. It is the high earnings rates on gas, dining, and groceries that really gets me though. Just for myself, between these three, I spend $1,330 on average a month. That equates with the 4x multipliers to $53 back a month. Now, if you're spending anywhere between $40 to $70 monthly on your Verizon line, well, $53 back from your Verizon Visa, that offers a significant discount on that bill. I think there's a real case to be made because so many people use Verizon that this card actually could be a great fit in your wallet. Now, next up is a true fan favorite that was included in my video ranking the best grocery cards out there. And that's the AAA Daily Advantage credit card. I know a lot of you out there gave this card some real love in the comments, and I think there's a great case to be made that this card could work for more people that actually know about it today. The standout feature here is the 5% cashback that you can earn on grocery stores. Now, this is limited to $500 in cashback a year, but the card also offers a nice earning rate, giving you 3% on gas. Now, this offers a slightly higher cap than some of the other lower capped cards and groceries on this list, making it a better card for the more intermediate to higher grocery spender out there. It's pretty similar to the Blue Cash Preferred, but if you're looking for a $0 annual fee option, and maybe you wouldn't use the Disney bundle credit on the Blue Cash Preferred to reduce that effective annual fee, well, the AAA card could be the card for you. There are a few reasons that this card is definitely overlooked. First of all, a lot of people are probably under the impression that you need a AAA membership to actually apply for and be accepted for this card. That is not the truth. Second of all, people don't even think of AAA as a credit card issuer. So right there, a lot of people just simply avoid it or discount it as not a legitimate credit card that offers any sort of value. And finally, this is a weird one, but some people may not be able to find it, like myself originally. This card can be geofenced, meaning it may not be available to you depending on your location. However, I want to shout out John T6806, who gave the tip on a recent video on the channel that if you are outside the geographic location that this card may not appear for you, simply open an incognito browser, type in kind of a northeastern United States zip code, and boom, the card should appear for you. Okay, we're switching over to two Bank of America cards next that I want to quickly highlight. Although everybody has probably heard of Bank of America and their banking services are their most popular offering, their credit cards totally fly under the radar and are almost never talked about here on YouTube. I want to start by introducing to you the customized cash rewards, which ironically, back in 2015, was editor Rob's first credit card that he ever got. The customized cash rewards card is a $0 annual fee card, and it offers 3% cash back in a customizable category, which allows you to choose between gas, online shopping, dining, travel, drugstores, or home improvement. Beyond that, you get 2% back on grocery stores and wholesale clubs, and then 1% back on everything else. Now, the elevated rates of 3% and 2% are capped at $2,500 in purchases combined every single quarter. Now, those rates don't blow you away, but this card and the next one from Bank of America participate in something that Bank of America calls preferred rewards, which can absolutely explode the earnings rates that you can get with a BOA credit card. Preferred rewards is essentially a tiered rewards bonus system, saying that the more you invest with Bank of America or Merrill Lynch, the higher credit card bonuses that you'll get on those spending multipliers. Those tiers range anywhere from $20K all the way up to over $100,000, but depending on your tier, can boost your credit card rewards by 25%, all the way up to 75%. At the highest tier with the customized cash rewards, that would take your earnings from 3% up to 5.25%, and then offer you 3.5% at grocery stores and wholesale clubs. Those are some pretty incredible earning rates, but there's obvious downsides about having to have up to $100,000 to peak out those earning rates. The other card from Bank of America, the Unlimited Cash Rewards card, is another one that takes advantage of that preferred rewards tier system. The Unlimited Cash Rewards card comes with a base level of 1.5% cash back. This is not something I would recommend to anybody. However, if you're willing to go all in with BOA, you can take that up to 2.62%, which is one of the best flat cashback earning rates out there. I don't want to spend a lot of time with this card because I recognize that I don't have $100,000 sitting around just to boost my credit card earnings. And if I did, and I wasn't already invested in Bank of America, well, that's a pretty big move over with that large pile of money just to max out the rewards, earnings, and cash back that I could get from a credit card. So there's a little bit of balance here, but if you're already a Bank of America customer, could provide a real avenue for you just to put everything into Bank of America and then recognize that you're working with one of the best systems possible for maximizing your credit card earnings. Now, let's move on to a bank that tries to push into the credit card space but doesn't quite have the same pull that the biggest issuers do. That is US Bank, and let's look at the US Bank Altitude Go card. This card is a $0 annual fee card, and its biggest strength is that it offers 4x points on dining. Pretty rare for a $0 annual fee card. Your 4x back is limited though to $2,000 spent per quarter, which is kind of a bummer, but it is again a $0 annual fee card, so it's hard to criticize there. If you're already a US Bank customer, this is a card I'd consider adding as a part of a multi-card setup. However, I wouldn't go out of my way specifically to add the Altitude Go. That is a different picture when we talk about the US Bank Cash Plus card. This is a card I'd consider adding to my wallet setup whether or not I had a previous banking relationship with US Bank. The Cash Plus card allows you to choose 2 categories and receive 5% cash back. These categories include fast food, home utilities, TV, internet, and streaming, department store, cell phone bills, electronic stores, sporting goods, gyms, ground transportation, and a few other niche categories of retailers. Now beyond that, you get 2% back at your choice of either restaurants, grocery stores, or gas stations. I don't value that second part much, but this card compares really favorably to the Discover It card or the Chase Freedom Flex, which offer you 5% on rotating categories. Rotating categories, however, can be frustrating, and sometimes it's nice to just get the Cash Plus card and lock in those categories so you can really fortify your wallet setup and know that the Cash Plus has your back, earning 5% in a really specific area, and then build the rest of your setup out from there. Finally, I want to highlight a last card from US Bank, the Shopper Cash Rewards credit card. This is a $0 annual fee card, and then it bumps to $95 a year, which I don't really like, but I still think that this card does hold a good value proposition for some people out there. Its biggest strength is that the card earns 6% back on 2 retailers of your choice, including big names like Target, Walmart, and the Home Depot, and then 3% back on 1 other category, which includes wholesale clubs, gas, or bills and utilities. Now the elevated 6 and 3%, that is limited to $1,500 a quarter. For a few people, given the categories, I think that limit could be a problem, but probably for most people, I don't think that's really going to be a big issue. Now, this card is pretty niche, and yes, it does fall under the radar. But if you do the math, it does make a positive case for deserving a spot in your wallet if you shop at some of those big retailers. If you maximize the elevated cashback categories and really only use this card in spending in those, you could earn about $360 in cash back just from the elevated redemptions every single year. Now that does erase completely the $95 annual fee, making it a positive value add to just keep and kind of hold in your wallet. That wraps up the list of the 9 cards that I've kind of come across that should be talked about more, but just aren't for one reason or another. You'll probably notice a few common things. These cards often work in areas like dining, some gas station rewards that are pretty good, and certainly groceries out there too. So you don't want to get too many of the ones here that I just spoke on because you're going to end up with too many overlapping categories and maybe not enough of a use case depending on your situation. However, there probably is at least one card that could add some value to your wallet. Now the question you have to ask yourself is it worth taking that step and filling up a slot in my wallet with one of these really specialty cards? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more similar credit card content, and I hope to see you in the next one.